Hey everyone, you're about to see me use some fancy 3D models in Byldr. And we realized you probably don't have all of these 3D models, or maybe you don't have any. Well, that's not a problem, because we're going to be adding a new feature in our next release, so you can access thousands of 3D assets so you can create an experience personalized to your liking. Now, back to the show. Hello everyone, welcome to Byld Out, a show where we build stuff and we show you how to do the same. Before we start building, a quick rundown of how to navigate in Byldr. Now by turning your left hand over, you will activate the main project menu. From here you can activate things such as teleport, which will allow you to position yourself in the scene without walking to the actual spot. You can preview your scene, which allows you to view your XR experience as if it was already the standalone program on your headset. You can access your settings from here and allow things like teleportation while in preview mode, and allow multiple people to build in the same scene. You can load different builds, exit the scene, or if you want to start all over in the same scene, you can press clear all. And lastly, you'll be using create. From here, you can create things to be placed in your scene. Things like cubes, spheres, cylinders, previously uploaded 3D models, and even UI elements. Each element can have a color applied to it, as well as physics, animations, and triggers to activate other actions. Today we're going to be working with some previously uploaded 3D models to create a little science museum. First, let's start by importing a platform to display each one of our exhibits. Now these platforms aren't going to move, so you can either place one right now or place all of them right now and help lay out your design. Remember, you can always move them again later. So we have our display here, but nothing to display. Let's change that. I have already uploaded to my Byldr account these 3D models of the planets that make up our solar system. Let's start with Earth. And although just having it sit there is pretty cool since it's in VR, it's admittedly a little boring. So let's make it do something. While having the Earth 3D model selected, we're going to go ahead and give it an animation. We can do that by pressing the animation button on this menu right here. Pressing the animation button will bring you to this submenu, which will allow you to record the currently selected object's movement, recording it as an animation. Now, I'm pretty sure all the planets and planetary bodies spin in space, so let's emulate that here. Press record, manually spin the model, and then press stop. You'll notice you have a new recording listed below, which you can preview by pressing play, to make sure it looks just right. Alright, this is very important, so listen closely. So far, you have only recorded an animation for the object. The animation is not applied to it. If you were to enter preview right now, this object would do nothing, but we can fix that. Now what we're about to do is set the scene so that when you press this planet, the animation will start. Now we've already done the first part by recording the animation itself. Now let's apply it. We can do this by giving it an action. It's sort of like having a certain behavior attached to the object. Like changing material, setting it to visible or invisible, playing a sound, or in our case, attaching an animation to it. So once you're in Actions, press Animation and enable it. This will allow you to use the animation you previously recorded. Simply add the available animation to the enabled list, and you're done with this step. At this point, your object has recorded animation attached to it, and it is able to use it, but the object hasn't been told when to use it. And for that, we're going to need our final step, adding a trigger. Adding a trigger is sort of like cause and effect. We know our effect will be the animation, but we need to set our cause. So let's do that now. Press triggers, and we can now tell our object our cause. As you can see, there are multiple options, from pressing the objects, pressing a certain button, or even just looking at it. Those are all great options, but like we said earlier, we want to press the planet and have it spin. So let's go ahead and select press and add the selected object. You'll see another option to toggle animation. This works to reset the animation and to have it play again. We can see under action value that we do in fact have our animation set to the trigger. And that means we can test what we just made. So let's back out of these menus and press preview on our main menu. The one floating next to your left hand. There we go, our model looks nice and clean, but does it do what we want? It looks like it's working as intended. This was our first exhibit, but there's a lot more in our solar system than just Earth, so we're going to go ahead and place the rest of them. Now, I did not place my other platforms, so let's do that now. Now, you might be thinking that going through the import process to put in the same object is just too much work, or that it's annoying. But luckily for you, that has been thought of. If you select the platform, you'll see that there's an option to actually clone the object. Now that multi-step process is just a one-click option. So let's go ahead and place more of them. Alright, time to place Mars in our next exhibit. Let's import the object, place it, and record its animation. Next, we give it an action, and then we give it a trigger. Now that we've covered how to make each of our exhibits, I'm just going to go ahead and quickly fill out the rest of them. Now, this is a science museum, not just a space museum, so let's add something that isn't a planet. I'm going to import this 3D model of a DNA helix and put it on display here. This scene looks pretty good to me. We could call it quits here, but let's go ahead and go the extra mile and use some of the user interface tools available in Byldr. Let's create a UI element. We'll start with a button. In the UI menu, press Menu, and you'll notice that all the other options are grayed out. This is because you will need a menu to add or utilize anything else on this submenu here. As you can see, this generates a sort of white sheet. This is a 1x1 grid menu with nothing on it. These two buttons represent how much the menu you are affecting. This one affects the entire menu, and this one affects individual buttons. Now, there are many options when it comes to altering your grid menu, including numerical and alphabetical ascending and descending orders, and how you want the menu to scroll. If we head over to the button section, we can see how we want the object to appear. We can see our button here under menu items. Let's change some of its settings. Right, so we want this menu button to have an image over it. So let's add an image, select this one, and there we go. You know, that worked so well, I think I'll do it again. Let's go. Let's press Create, UI, Menu, place it, and choose a picture. Let's go with this guy. He looks excited. All right, let's spin him around, and for the sake of symmetry, let's make another one. And we're gonna move him right over here. You know, it's missing something. It needs a banner. Now, I don't have a 3D model of a banner, so let's just make one in the form of a text box. Let's go ahead and add a text box. Let's go to Create and Text Box. Now let's type in something here so it's not just blank and floating. Welcome to the galaxy? Yeah, it seems fine to me. You know what, everyone? I'd call this scene done. Yeah, that wasn't too bad for only a few minutes of building. You know, I'd say we learned a lot about menus, animations, triggers, actions, and even covered a little bit of the UI elements available in Byldr. Anyway, I had fun. Hopefully you did too. Byldr is available on SideQuest, the Microsoft Store, and soon to be on the Oculus Store. And hey, don't forget to check out the social media available in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because we have more content coming your way. And until next time, keep building.